This is the time of the process where all these teams start putting out all of this misinformation. So what sense are you getting from Tua and his team around him about how they're feeling about what will happen in 2 weeks?
Yeah, they still feel very, very good. I mean, at the end of the day, the information that's been out there has been all about from the doctors who have been involved in the beginning of this, and they feel very confident with what's going on with Tua's hip. Once again, just to reiterate, Dr. Thomas Bird in Nashville was the one who conducted the voluntary medical recheck that Tua just did. He confirmed as one of the best hip specialists in the world that the hip is actually stronger than it would have been before. Same with the ankle injuries. So Tua and his team feel like they're in a really good position heading into this draft.
All right, so we'll see. So that's a week from Thursday. In the meantime, you mentioned Trent Dilfer. He, of course, is a Super Bowl winning quarterback, and he has been working with Tua here. And he recently told the Washington Post, quote, if he would have never gotten hurt, there would have been no discussion about who the best player in this draft is. He throws the football better than anyone throws the football. He throws better than Aaron Rodgers and Dan Marino. Whoever gets him wins the draft because you're getting a Hall of Fame player. I'm going to bring Lewis back into this. I have Bobby Carpenter with me as well here today. But, Lewis, I'll start with you. Throws the ball better than Aaron Rodgers and Dan Marino. What do you think?
Yeah, those are some big time, proclamations there by Trent Dilfer. And look, I have all the respect in the world for Trent, but I played against Dan Marino. I started, against Dan Marino when he was with the Miami Dolphins. And Dan, no one walking the face of this planet may throw the football better than Dan at his height and in his heyday. So, look, I understand that Trent right now wants to make sure that people understand how much he believes in Tua, and I believe in Tua. Look, I've said, if it wasn't for his injury history, which obviously we can't ignore, I think that he would be the unquestioned #1 overall pick because he is a beautiful thrower of the football. He does have a lot of horsepower in that arm, combined with tremendous touch and accuracy. So, but right now, it's really not about Tua's arm talent. It's not really about Tua's ability to play the quarterback position, all things being equal at a high level. What this is going to be about is his projected durability and availability. That's what this is about. No one right now needs to be sold on Tua's ability throwing the football. It's about, will he be able to stay on the football field, and what price are you willing to pay in order to take on that risk? And right now, it's really split down the middle. I've talked to people who would say, I'd have no problem taking him at 5 if I was the Miami Dolphins, and I would have no problem moving up for him. I'd have other people said I wouldn't move up for him at all, and I've had people say, I may steer clear. So that's the issue. It's not his arm talent.
Bobby, what would you do? What side of all this do you fall on?
See, I look at players and you evaluate them for the draft, Mike. You're looking at guys and you draft traits. And Tua has unbelievable traits. He has traits of Dan Marino. He has traits of Aaron Rodgers I played against. He can move around. He has a strong arm. He has all of the things that you like. But then you have to decouple that from the injury history and the things that you've seen him do on the field where he's gotten beat up. He hasn't always been available. If you could tell me that you could give me 10 to 15 healthy years of Tua, I would feel pretty confident that he's going to be in the conversation of maybe one of the greatest quarterbacks of his generation. He has all that talent. The problem is the durability, his ability to stay healthy and be on the field because the traits, Mike, are there. He has everything that he ultimately needs to be successful, except for that durability, which we won't know until he ultimately plays.
That's the point, Bob, is that people keep telling me that he's healthy. And it's one thing to have recovered from the injuries. It's another thing to consistently be getting injured. And those feel like two different things to me, Bob. And I feel like sometimes they're being compared to each other as though they're one and the same.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the hip. I think the hip is ultimately going to be fine. I think the ankles are going to be fine. The problem that I always have with Tua is, what's the next injury? Is there another shoe that's going to drop? And if that's the case, and it continues to happen throughout the course of his career, that's when you get worried. I played with a guy like Matt Stafford, who was hurt a lot early in his career. He was able to pull out of that and then become one of the most durable quarterbacks in the NFL. It does happen. I just don't know if it's going to happen with Tua. And you're talking about giving up a lot of draft capital to potentially take the guy.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.